So yesterday we have seen that here we are getting four jobs, okay, but why? Because we have not commented out the cget method which we have defined here. If you see this cget, so that's the reason why we are getting four jobs, but I am removing it because I don't want to see the data related to the partitions, okay, whatever what data we have in that partition. So that's why. So let's look, I mean, if you see all these three jobs, 0 1 2 jobs, okay, I'll show you. Everything is same. So if you see here, I mean, there will be a y3 jobs. Let's talk about y3 jobs. So first two jobs is for the reading and other is for the inferencing, okay. Inferencing means it will going to understand the data, okay. So whatever the data, like if it is int, okay, it will, if it is number, then it will going to create a data set as int. If it is any character, then the column data set will be string, okay, something like that. And we are doing it df.show, okay. So this is the another third job. So second job is related to the show, the 0 job is related to the read, 1 is related to the inference, okay. So this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. Let me open it one by one, okay. I think this is now visible to you, everybody. So this is job 0, okay. So if you see this job 0, it is already reading that file, okay. Now let me go back to the stages. So it took only 2 seconds to complete, and there is no shuffling happened, okay. So if I go back to the stages, I don't know why it's taking some time. Okay, so meanwhile I'll go back to the other jobs, which is job 1, let's say. So here if you see, this is deserializing the object because it has to read what is there in the data, okay. So that's why it's deserializing it. And let me open the stage here as well. And this is again doing the show, okay. So all three have the, okay, so this is again doing the show. Let me open it in the stage. Let's see if our first one is open or not. I need to see why there is a lag. Yeah, let it be open, okay. If I click on the stage tab, yeah, here if you see, in the stage tab we have 3 stages, but for each of the jobs, okay. So I am opening the 0th one because 0th job has 0 stages, okay. So in the stage, if you see, I'll talk about everything here, but let it loads. Similarly for this one, let me click on the stage tab for the other two. Yeah, so this is the job 0 stage, okay. So if you see, there is a stage tab, okay, and this is for the job 0, and for the job 0 it's doing nothing but it's just scanning the file, okay. So these are the IDs, and so if I select all, okay, so it has only one partition, okay. So if I have repartition it, then there will be two lines, okay. So for 400 millisecond it had waited. After 400 to 800 it did the deserialization, okay, in job 0, and then it started computing, okay. So this is it, this task serialization time, deserialization, okay. So first at read, and here if you see, there is no off heap, nothing, right. And the result serialization time, it took around 20 millisecond, okay. So serialization deserialization time took 20 millisecond, which you can see it here as well. 400 minus 800 minus 400, 800 to 400. Okay, so there is a deceleration task and there is a serialization. So for serialization it took 20 milliseconds. Okay, and now let's go back to the storage tab. In the storage we don't have earlier we have talked about the memories, right? So in the storage tag we usually keep the data related to the cache. Okay, you can see the cache everywhere. And let's go back to the executor for the 0th job. So here you can see that 3.9 GB is allocated, that we have discussed last time. And the other thing that you can see is that's fine because there is no shuffle read and shuffle write. And if you go back to the SQL data frame, so for 0th job, okay, if we are able to see that, let me show you. So for 0th job ID is 0. Okay, so for job ID 0, let me click on that. Okay, so I'm expanding everything. So this has read the file. Total file size is 256 byte. Okay, took around 307 milliseconds. And if you read the physical plan, okay, so physical plan contains entire all the things. Okay, so first it is scanned, then it filtered out the non-zero elements, and then it has collected the data. Okay, which is showing the data. Similarly for the second tab, for the second job, if I click on that, okay, and similarly on the third, I'm clicking on the stages. So if you see, there also the deceleration happened. Okay, and here also there is only one task, okay, to infer. And here also it took around deceleration time and the serialization time. So serialization time is 3 seconds and deceleration time it took 0.6 seconds. So every time I want to repeat, every time it will going to serialize and deserialize the data, okay, while executing. Okay, so it took a lot of time for deserialization and then it started. Okay, so for inferring it took long time to run. And here if you see SQL execution RDD, okay, map partition RDDs, these are nothing. Let me take you back to the executor. Let's see if something is here. Okay, so this is the total memory for the execution. And here also there is no shuffle read and shuffle write. Okay, let me take you back to the SQL data frame for the inferring. So I'm clicking on the first one because 0 for the second one we don't have the SQL data frame. Why? Because it does not, it will be the same, it has considered the single stage, okay, single stage or single execution for that job. Okay, so for each jobs we will going to have, because that's a one action. Okay, one action means reading. Okay, so whatever the reading we are doing, we are subparting it with the inferring. Okay, so it will be one job and there will be one in the SQL data frame it will be only one. Okay, so for the third job, if you see for the job ID 2, okay, job ID 2 again, if you look at that, so serialization time took 42 milliseconds. There is no time on the serialization, but on the deceleration time it took around 42 milliseconds, because it has because it is showing you the data, right? So whatever the data it's already present, it is deserializing that. Okay, but earlier we were serializing it. Okay, so serializing means, so there is a chain, right? So if I talk about the chain, let me talk about the chain. Okay, so let's say in the job 0 there was a serialization, deserialization. Let me see if what I'm talking about. So if I go to the executor tab in job 0, so this is job 0 only, and here if you see not on the, okay, let me go back to the stages. Okay, so in the stages, if I open this one, 0th one, okay, on stages. So here let's see what is the deceleration time. So serialization time was 20 millisecond. Serialization was, let me write it here, serialization, okay, and I'll write the deserialization, okay. So on job 0 the serialization time it took was 20 millisecond, okay, and the deceleration took around 0. I think what was that number 0.5 millisecond, 0.5 second. I hope you are able to see that, right? So this is 20 second, this is 0.5 second, okay. So let me do it here, 0.5 seconds, okay. .5 second, okay. So now in the job 0, while it was, what it was doing, it was reading the file, okay. Now in job 0, job 1, and there will be job 2, okay. So in job 1 if you see, which is this one, job 2, let me go to the stages, click on the first one. Oops, what happened? Okay, so if you see here, the deceleration and the serialization time, so the serialization took around 3 milliseconds, okay, and the serialization time took 3 seconds, and the deceleration took around 0.6 seconds, okay. So here what it was doing is inferring, okay. And in the job 2, okay, job 2 is showing the data only. So showing means we are not serializing it anything, right? So here if you see, the serialization time is 0, right? So here if you see, the serialization time, which is this one, is 0, okay. But deceleration took a lot of time, which is 42 milliseconds, okay. So deceleration took around, this is 0, and deceleration took around 42 milliseconds, okay. So because it has to read the entire data, and here what we were doing is we were just showing or displaying, okay. Yeah, so these are the things that we have covered: serialization, deceleration, showing, and what else we have covered is that there is no shuffle, write and read, okay. Why? Because there was no exchange, okay. We were just simply reading the file, inferring the file, and showing that file, okay. So other than that, yeah, so this is the execution time. We can see the size of the files, okay. Size of file you can see from this tab is from the SQL data frame tab. If you click on that in the SQL data frame tab, let me click on the last job, and here if you see what size, right, size. So I'm expanding everything. So in the size, if you see, it's 256 byte. Size of the file is 256 byte. Okay, and we will going to see in other sections, other jobs. I mean, when we are doing the see other after transformation. Okay, after transformation, what will going to happen, that size. Other than that, I have already covered, and I'll show you whatever we have, what data we have in the partitions. Okay, so let me uncomment this out. Okay, and if I show you, okay, let me run it again. So here you will see the 4 jobs. One job is for this one. Okay, so as you can see 4 jobs. Okay, so in the partition 0, how come it is showing you the, is there a repartition happen? Just give a moment. So we have this C get method. Okay, and C get is we have the data frame. How come? Okay, let me take this in the next video. Okay, yeah. Thank you.